my early 2000s self is so happy with this music choice. And my 2020 self is also
very thrilled with our rock
I don't know what I was going to say, like Monday vibes, but it's not Monday, it's Tuesday. And of course it's Tuesday because we're here.
We are Tuesday at our new time. So everybody, make note that Social Surge with Fly and Mo is now going to be at 6 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Central. And if you're on the East Coast, of course, it's 9 a.m. So if you're watching us at work, get back to work, you slob. I'm just kidding.
Or don't.
Just watch us. Put your headphones on.
Enabler.
Put us on mute. Not us on mute. Well, yeah, I mean, headphones on, put you on mute. Whatever. You know what we're talking about. It's Social Surge with Fly and Mo. We're so happy to see you. It feels like we haven't been here forever.
But because it was a long weekend. So
it was a very long weekend.
Yeah. So we were here on Thursday. We recapped ICSC. It was a long episode. We talked about a lot. And of course, there's a lot more to be said. But the conversations continue offline.
They do. Okay, so today we have, so you were inspired by something that actually started this entire show off, which you guys didn't see, which is probably a good thing. I am so jealous because what did you show me?
The most coveted,
in your face? Put it in your face? In front of your face. Maybe not. It's still there it is, right there.
There it is. The most coveted book drop of the season. And I have received my pre-ordered copy of Selling Buildings by Bob Nagel and Rod Santomassimo with a foreword by Ryan Serhant. And it is so fresh. I've cracked it open a little bit. I mean, it's clean, it's squeaky. I'm so sad that the blur is cutting out is cutting out the cover. But this was very interesting because they have been promoting this book. They had their book launch on the 20th?
On the 20th, last Tuesday. It's been a week
ago. And I was fully expecting my copy to be on my doorstep when I got home from ICSC. And lo and behold, it was not. And then they had a delayed shipment because this book is in such high demand.
Yeah, no, I haven't received mine yet. So, I ordered mine like April 21st. Like when it was, the pre-order was available, that's when I ordered it. And they're like, oh, sorry, there's been a delay. And I'm like, don't you know who I am?
There needs to be a warehouse just full of these. Just full of these so that they can meet demand. But it's great. And and a couple of other things also have inspired what I wanted to talk about, in relation to this. But like, this is the season, like we are in the midst of a season of like massive book drop after book drop this year.
And I love it.
Other notable books would be Sweaty Startup. This is one I have on my desk. I have, I have Amy Calandrino's book. Amy Calandrino's book that came out this year.
Industrialized.
My copy of Proof Stacking is in the other room for some reason. And then, of course, and
our favorite.
I'm really mad about this actually because Chad Griffith's Industrialized, which I only have a digital copy. I do not have a physical copy of Industrialized, which is funny that I'm holding Sweaty Startup's book and talking about Industrialized. Because if you are not aware, on X, Chad Griffiths has really built up a multi-strategy marketing campaign that a lot of it was dunking on Nick, and they're friends, and so it's funny. But so one thing that happened over the weekend, and it's been happening a lot, but it was Memorial Day, and a lot of people took off for Memorial Day, of course, and vacations and things and catching up with family, and it's sort of the start of the summer season, which tends to be a little bit slower, right? But I saw this. I don't know if they call them this, but a Belfie, like a book selfie, or sometimes it's just a picture of the book. And I forget the person's name. I'll have to look it up. But a picture of them on the beach, like ocean, beautiful ocean, like sand, like the umbrella, like there might have been a cocktail there. I'm not sure. And they're holding up Chad Griffith's Industrialized, and I'm just like, why is a book with a whole chapter about floor drains like the hottest beach vacation read Like, why is this book about industrial real estate like basically organic grassroots influencer marketing?
It's the perfect campaign if you really want to. Actually, we should have broken it down before we even had this conversation, like actually breaking down everything that he's been doing really, really well with it. Not to say that other people haven't done well, but if you look at everything that Chad's doing, like creating like kind of this fake controversy between him and Nick, right? Like, you know, doing that. He's got George Choo Choo Choo, who is the dude that it's the dude from Fiverr who he only pays for like 25 words. And that's all he says is 25 words. So whether or not it actually gets to the full end of the sentence, you just have to wait until the next one. He's also utilized the Talking Babies AI, which has been freaking hilarious.
Doing so much.
Which coincidentally is also why I have freaking mamas don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys stuck in my head, because I saw something on Instagram yesterday with Waylon Jennings, baby Waylon Jennings, and baby Willie Nelson singing that song, and it has literally been stuck in my head since then.
It's a good song.
But, right? Like it's that stuff. And then also just the fact that he's had so many people that have sent him photos or tagged him with their photos on social with his book, right? So this is what we call user-generated content when it comes to that. So UGC is so important to your brand. Now, how do you know when somebody is actually talking about your brand? There's a couple of things that you can do. There's actually services that you can pay for that do what's called social listening. So anytime your brand is mentioned, anything like that, you'll basically see it in a feed, and then you can go and respond to it. A lot of times that social listening is super duper expensive.
Yeah.
There are some resources, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Maybe you should talk to me and I can help you out with that. Seriously, like my planner, like I have a planner that I use. This is a total plug for myself. Good morning, Regalado Real Estate and Gene Heller, Chicago, who are just joining us over on Instagram. It's the Graham fam. But we offer social listening with that. So if you know how good that is, just talk to me about the planner and I'll give you all the details. But social listening is super important to your brand so that you're constantly responding to people who are mentioning you, good, bad, or otherwise. Doesn't matter. And so this is why when you're doing a book launch like this, you obviously make it easy for people to find you, because that is why it's so important. I really, really love the George Chew videos. Like I can't tell you, like this is almost embarrassing. I literally went through all the George Chew videos. I did. So if you follow Chad Griffiths on X, I think it's at Chad Griffiths. I think that's.
Yeah, I think so.
Let me pull up my handy dandy phone and take a look for you. But yeah, he's been hiring George Chew to do his stuff. And then, of course, we had Allison Weiss, who hosted a impromptu contest to see who could make the best meme out of Chad Griffiths' face. And Chad Griffiths won. So that was actually really, really funny. But it's just a smart way to, let me click on his. Yep, it's just Chad Griffiths. Yep, there it is.
This is the photo in question.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
And that was from Taylor Glaze, who I believe is with CBRE. And I believe that because there's a teeny tiny little business card poking out of the book. And I was like, I literally commented, I was like, that is brilliant little like brand cameo.
Brilliant little plug. Yeah.
And so really, and I want to get back to Bob's book, but the thing to me that's really.
Hey, Eddie. Thanks for joining us.
Is that Eddie Gonzalez?
Yes, that's Eddie
Gonzalez.
And
I owe that dude like 5 text messages. I'm so behind.
Yeah, what she said. She owes you 5 text messages.
So yes, Chad is paying George Chew, cents on the dollar for
our entertainment.
For our entertainment. But when I saw that vacation book pick, I was like, this dude has cracked it. Because a lot of people talk about influencer marketing. I don't really know the value of that in this business. Because like I at ICSC, I heard somebody talking about they had hired an agency to like do influencer marketing for them, but then all of the views and the demographic that they were hitting was like
not their demographic.
It was not it. And it was like 20 to 35-year-olds in Asia.
So that's a big issue with influencer marketing. You get really excited about it because you're like, oh my gosh, all these influencers are going to be sharing my content or sharing my stuff or promoting my stuff. And they sell you a really good line, and that's great. I'm really happy for you, but you need to look at who the target demographic is. And if you don't know, if you don't know who your target demographic is, then y'all, we need to talk, because if I've talked about this before, you can have an influencer, say they have 1 million followers, right? 1 million followers, they get great engagement, blah, 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 blah. But if that's not your target demographic, then why would you be paying that person to promote your content? That's like advertising 101. Like, why? I don't get it.
Right. And this is what, this is why when we talk about, what are the actual metrics that you should be looking at, and like every time you and I have like a side conversation off main, it's always like, why, like everybody's looking at the wrong thing. Like impressions, and like people get really bugged up about impressions, and I'm just like, yeah, but who are you actually getting in front of? Right.
We lost Fly for a second.
No. Everything is the worst. Can you hear me now?
Okay, great. Hi, are we still live?
Are we still live? Yes, we're still live. I'm sorry, it's raining in Baton Rouge and the internet sucks. Where did you lose me? I went off on a tirade. Did you miss all of it?
I missed all of it, yes.
It's okay. Let me not be negative and let's focus on the good. So really what Chad has done, and this is what's replicable. And it is actually very difficult to buy. So it's like whatever you're looking at, whatever you're trying to do, whatever your goals are, your goals should not be impressions. Your goals should not be all of these things that people seem to think is what they want. What Chad has done, and what the proliferation of all of these books that are coming out, and and this is, I'm sure, what is also going to happen with Bob and Rod's book, is that he has built a following that is actually a community, and he has done that by showing up as himself, being an expert in his niche and his asset class, Gabe. And he has built relationships with the people that are following him online, who are genuinely excited by his content and want to share it. All of the pictures that are coming up on the books, he is not paying those people to place them.
Nope.
Those people have purchased the book, are genuinely excited to read it, are getting so much value out of it,
right,
that they're like, I want to share I want to share this book. I want to celebrate this book. And it's also, it's also it is a little bit of like an in club. Like the fact that I have Bob's book and you're jealous, you know what I mean? And it's like, look, I'm reading Chad's book on the beach, so much of what this community has built is about more than just business. It's about lifestyle.
Correct.
Right? And also there's also two sides of it, right? Like if you posting a picture of yourself on the beach reading this book is there's so much going on there, but it's like, I am someone who is committed to expanding my knowledge in this field so that I can better show up and serve, the people that my prospects and my clients. Right.
Right. And I guess part two, TOO, is the fact that if you are going to be doing something like a book launch, you really need to take a look at what has your community been talking to you about, right? what are some of the things that you've been having with a community? And if you have built up a community online, they are your best prospects to purchase that book, right? We look at Sweaty Startup. Sweaty Startup had that's Nick Huber. I was gonna like blank out on his name for a second there. Sweaty Startup. So he's got a huge online community that he's built. Whether or not you like him, whether or not you agree with what he posts on X, that's totally up to you. But the book has value. Like, I have the book. I have Amy Calandrino's book. I do not have Chad Griffiths Industrialize yet. It will be purchased. I know it'll be purchased soon. But it goes along with the idea that these are people that you know. These are people that you've gotten to know. And so, of course, you want to read. I really do love Amy's book. I'm like 3/4 of the way through it. She's got a lot of great stuff in there, especially from a female perspective, from a woman builder perspective, like an entrepreneur. Just a lot of stuff that it's like, oh, yep, I can relate to that. Yep, it's like stuff like you feel like you're not hearing it from somebody else. You feel like you're not alone. So really, really good book. I highly recommend. Now let's talk about selling buildings with Robin. Yes. Robin says she got Amy's book. Selling buildings. You're not doing the influencer beauty thing where you like put the.
I am not an influencer beauty thing. Let's just be straight. I know I post my hat pic.
Ready with me. This is what we're using this morning. Yeah, we're using.
When they do the nails.
ASMR.
ASMR.
Oh my gosh. Can you tell we spend way too much time online? Anyway, so Selling Buildings, Bob Knakal and Rod Santamassimo wrote this book. It is, if I haven't read it yet, but from what I know of it, it's going to be your guidebook, especially about some of the recommendations that people had. And it did sell out. Now, why did it sell out? The promotion started early, started a month before the book was even going to launch. So you pre-order it. Monday morning, I mean, I know Bob was getting messages like, hey, I stayed up until 12:01 to order the book on book launch day. And they said it ordered and then it didn't get shipped. So those things happen, but it's kind of exciting to know that, the first not run basically, but the first printing of it sold out already. So very, very exciting. They had an amazing, they paired it with a masterclass on last Tuesday, which again, heard amazing things from the masterclass. And I'm pretty sure that Bob and Rod, because I'm a little bit in the know, are going to be doing it again in the fall, that masterclass, not the book.
That's great.
But it just goes along with kind of creating. So let me go back. Corey Zelnick and I talk a lot about experiential retail, because when we have a show called Cup of Joe with Corey and Mo on Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Instagram. We're only on Instagram. You can catch us live there. We're very profane. We don't cuss at all. No, not at all. Sometimes it starts out with an F word. But we talk about experiential retail because that's what people are wanting. We are wanting more of an experience. So if you're looking at doing a book launch, if you have a book that you're getting ready to publish, think about experiential book launch, right?
Yes.
People want to be able to experience it. They want to be involved in it. And so by doing all of these things, you're creating this experience for these people that they're going to take photos, right? They're going to share them on social media. They're going to talk about the experience to their friends so that the next time something like this rolls around, people are like, I want to be involved. It's the FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. Not FOMO, Momo.
FOMO, Momo, fear of missing out on Mo.
Inside joke. And so it is F word equals fun. Yes, it does, Eddie. F is for friends who, anyway, I've had just a very little bit amount of caffeine this morning for us. So this is great. Usually it's just water at 5:30 in the morning. And now I've had just a little bit of caffeine. So experiential. If you want to see somebody who did, in my humble opinion, who did an amazing book launch, her name is Bethany LaFlamme. She wrote a book called, I think it's called OPE. other people's something. I'm basically killing this right now for her. But if you take a look at what she did on Instagram for the book launch, pretty amazing. She's a syndication lawyer. I actually met her at a conference for self-storage. The power of OP, and then she has E exponential, and it's talking about, using other people's money. Yes.
Bethany, turn off the blur. I got to get over it.
Let's see if you can see it from mine. There she is.
There you
Bethany go. LaPlam, right there. Amazing, amazing woman. Super smart. Just freaking love her. But when I saw her book launch, of course, I immediately reached out to her, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, your book launch looks amazing. How was it?" And they had a whole experience for people. There were hors d'oeuvres, there were drinks, there was places for you to take pictures with her. There are places for you to take pictures with her book. So when we're talking about this, don't just think about it from a perspective of just think about it from a perspective of, oh, I'm going to launch a book. Think about, how can I make this an experience for my community? Yeah. Which is what Rod and Bob did with the book launch last week. You went out to New York City. They were in a Vornado building. They were on like the 22nd floor. From what it looked like the views were freaking amazing. Like, that would have been badass just to be out there, just on the, like, where the, I was like a patio, I guess is what it would be called. No idea. It's not a patio, right? It would be a deck. An outcropping. I don't know. A balcony? Yeah, there we go. I think that's a better word.
Somebody who's very into architecture is like really rolling in their seat right now.
They are. Sorry, Carol. They absolutely are. It's the thing you step on, and it's outside, and the building's high, and there's glass, and you're good. But it was a total experience for people, right? They had a DJ. So we're not just talking about user-generated content. When you're trying to market your book, think about forward thinking. How can I make this an experience for my community? And there's a reason why you want to do that. It's not just for you. It's not just for your book. It's to celebrate them, because they have supported you all along the way, right? So you are showing and sharing that you care about them, your community. I can't wait to see what Chad has up his sleeve next. I've been loving, like I said, if you haven't checked out Chad on IG with what he's been doing, has he been sharing any of that stuff on LinkedIn? I can't remember if he has or not.
Yeah, I saw a LinkedIn post from him recently. He's and I think it was sharing baby Chad, actually. So he's telling Gabe. Thank you, Gabe.
It was an outdoor deck.
Thank you for Money Penny. I know everyone's like, there's new time. The crew.
Yes, there is a new time. We are going at 6 a.m. so that 6 a.m. Pacific and 8 a.m. Central.
8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern. So it's just my fault because I have family things. I had to reassess scheduling. So, but I think also too, I mean, not everybody is going to write a book. Not everybody is necessarily in the, like, I wouldn't just recommend like everybody just go write a book. Right. I would highly recommend everybody start telling their stories and articulating them, because probably all of y'all have enough on the end to do a book, like, at some point. Right. But the one thing, the thing that I will say, too, about Bob, about Rod, about, Nick Huber, about Chad Griffiths, Amy Calandrino, all of the people who have come up in the discussion of books today, is that they have an established audience. They have a body of content that they've already produced. And I think also what's brilliant is it's like they are going to get so much more content out of this from the podcast interviews that are done about it. Right. Just all of the, like the fact, I love the lo-fi posts where it's like, it's a page of the book and then like one little thing is highlighted. And then it's a little note and like that kind of stuff. Right. The physical object and having that is just, it takes it offline, it makes it real, and it's just another way that you can really naturally show expertise. A lot of like the screenshots that we see, coming from, Nick Huber's book especially, is like, would that hit as hard if it was just written in text? But
Right.
having the picture of the book that's highlighted, I mean, it's very Gary Vee, right?
Yep.
But I do, I think that really, whether you're at the point where you are, gonna write a book, or you're just figuring out how do you continue to show like expertise in your area, and like whatever format that content has, like just like you said, make it experiential, make it multi-touch point, multifaceted, multimedia, because you're going to get the most bang out of your buck that way, and give people multiple entry points into engaging with you, and create opportunities for other people to share your work. Because when you get to the point, like the point that Bob is at, where he can just show up someplace and 100+ people. I mean, it's got to be even more than that. Like, how many selfies did Bob take with people at any one of his networking events?
Yeah.
Every single one of those people will post them. And so he's out there, and he just has to show up, right?
Repetition builds recognition. I blew her away. Yeah. Repetition builds recognition, right? And recognition builds trust. Recognition builds trust. And then ultimately, whether you're selling books or you're selling buildings, trust builds sales. So, right?
Let's end it there. That was perfect. No notes. Beautiful. I had more to say, but no, let's end.
All right, everybody. Again, thank you for joining us. This is Social Surge Live with Fly and Mo. We have a new time, same bat channels, but new bat time. We are at 6 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. What? No. 6 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Central. I would die. 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I'd be up, but I'd be like...
It'd just be a different show. At that point, we would just need to not go to bed and just do it. It's like... Whatever.
All right. We'll see you back here on Thursday with more fun stuff to talk about. And remember, 6 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern. Oh, I got it. I got it.